First off, Steph, congratulations. I'm so excited for you. Oh my God.
Thank you.
Of course. I know this time last year we kind of caught up. I hadn't seen you in so long, and we spoke about it briefly, but you know, it can be kind of personal when you haven't seen somebody in a while and you talk about that. So I just want to say thank you for sharing that with me when you did, because I myself was going through it at the time and I wasn't talking to nobody. I'm sure you know how that feels.
I understand. It's hard. It's no one prepares you as you're becoming from a teenager to a woman. I feel like no one educated us about the possibilities of you just not getting pregnant when you want to get pregnant.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lack of education that needs to that's happening with at least our generation.
100%.
We're a little bit we're like all over the place when it comes to fertility. We're like, what do we do? Is this God's way? Like, there's just a lot of confusion around it.
So much confusion.
And then I just was questioning, like, even like my womanhood. I'm like, what's wrong with me? Can I not give my husband a baby? Like, you go through this like cycle of like blaming someone and blaming yourself, and I'm broken.
And just trying to find the answers, like, what do I do next? And I'm not sure if you're like this, but I've always had like a control type of thing where I'm like, okay, I need to be in control of what's going on. Like, I have to take the next steps. And it's just so much that goes into it. It's like so many different layers. And unless you've been through it, it's hard to like connect with other people that don't know what you're going through, you know?
It's so important what you're doing, because the more we talk about it, the more people will reach out for help and know that this is okay. Like, you can come into a place where you need the extra help and not feel bad about it. You know what I mean? I think that we felt like out of place. Like, where do we go? Like, where do we go for help? You know?
Yeah, like for me personally, like I didn't tell anybody about it because I didn't feel like anybody could like really understand how I was gonna feel. So my thing is I would go like on TikTok trying to conceive community, and I would like listen to stories, and I'm like, it just gave me so much hope. That's where I came up with this, because I'm like, let me have a platform where they can come and they have somewhere to go and they can feel seen and heard and not isolated, because it can be isolating. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, so take me back before all of this. When did you realize this journey might be different than what you originally imagined?
So I'm a very like story fairy tale kind of girl. You know,
literally, I seen your wedding. I was like, hello?
Yeah, we grew up with the Disney thing.
Yes.
Like, I wanted to meet Prince Charming and live happily ever after. So once I got married and had the wedding of my dreams,
literally,
I felt like I met the man of my dreams. It's time for baby. You know, there's an order that I feel I was taught to have.
And you followed it, like that, like by the books, like that's what they say. Yep.
Right. Okay. So he's my man. We're married, and I want to have a baby. So then I was like, oh, let's just do it. Let's just have fun. We just got married. Let it flow. So the first 4, 5, 6 months, I was like, oh, we're letting it flow, we're letting it go, and nothing's happening. Because my husband, he's, my husband is African-American. So he was like, listen, when I let it out, like, this is gonna be like, you don't know how we roll. I'm like, okay. So he's like, so when he was just like, he's like, babe, I don't know what's going on. And I used to like mess with him. I'm like, what's going on, bro? You know? And he's like, I don't know. So 6 months turned into a year. It turned into a year and a half. So then I said to myself, okay, I think it's time to find out if we're okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to know if I was okay and if my husband was okay. At first, he checked and he was low, right? Like his sperm count was low. And then I was like, oh, maybe that's what it was. And then we checked me. And honestly, Anna, I promise on everything that is holy, I have done every test under the sun. I've done every biopsy. When I tell you I have no fibroids, no cysts, no polyps, no bacteria, no inflammation, no sign in endometriosis, no low AMH levels. I was producing 30 to 32 eggs a month, sis. I had nothing wrong. I had nothing's wrong with my uterus. Everything, I ovulated on time. I had regular periods. I had a great lining, no scar tissue, nothing.
Wow.
So I was just like, what is this? But the truth is that the scary part about it is if there is a group of women that end up doing IVF that have no condition. There's nothing that they can like pinpoint it to. Like, it's not, oh, you have infertility because of this.
So this is when they would say this is unexplained infertility. That's just what it is.
This is what it is.
Wow.
When you have checked every box, they checked me for autoimmune diseases.
Yeah.
They checked for me for lupus, anything that could be attacking my baby. Like they did 9 vials of blood. Like listen,
everything, all the things,
everything you could think of. So it just was an unexplained case. So
wow.
I said, okay, well we got eggs, he got sperm, we got options, right?
Right.
I said to myself, there's this little weird place that we live in. Like I'm very spiritual, but I believe in God.
Yes.
And I think this is how I think. I think God puts us on earth to evolve, right? He gives us gifts. He gives us the word, our voices to make a change, to doctors that can save lives, right?
100%.
But I find it to be very funny because there's a world where women are frowned upon because they say if you do IVF, you're playing God, right?
Yeah,
but
I went through that too.
The truth is that every time you go to the doctor because you're fighting an infection, every time there's someone that has cancer, goes through chemo and goes through radiation, and you get that heart surgery and you get that lung transplant, you are playing God, but not really just wanting to survive, right? So God knows.
Yeah.
God knows that he was putting man on earth to be able to fend, to be able to do miracles and be able to work through him. If we're children of God, we work through him. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. People think if you do IVF, you'll have your baby. That's not true.
Nope.
You gotta have science, magic, God. It's gotta be a combination of things.
100%.
Because the doctor gave me everything he thought he could to give me this baby. But the one that signs off at the end of it for it to continue is God.
Okay, so what was the hardest part that nobody really talks about?
For me.
Yeah.
For me, I think, and this might sound a little bit shallow, right? But I have developed my entire career off of my looks, right? I feel like I've always been an inspiration for women physically. I always show up and show out, right? And I think when you're doing IVF and these medications are causing symptoms, like for instance, some days I'd break out. And I was like, man, my skin is just not the same. Or, I was retaining a lot of fluid. I was inflamed. I was constipated. I just didn't feel myself. And I feel like for me, that was the hardest part because, the parties don't stop. The birthdays invitations don't stop.
Yep.
The holidays came and went. Birthdays came and went. And I couldn't stop time. I had to still dress up. I had to still be a model.
Yep.
I had to still be a wife.
Yep.
I still had to be a friend. And whatever mood I was going through, and the mood swings with the medication, and I felt like a pull. It was like a tug and pull of myself. And it gave me like these ups and downs where I just wanted to be a hermit and I wanted to be depressed, and then I wasn't getting the results that I wanted, and I would get a negative on a pregnancy test and have to go to a baby shower that same day.
Yep.
And I have to sit there and be there for other people.
Yep.
I think that those were the hardest parts, that life doesn't stop for what you're going through. And you got to still roll with the punches. Like, I feel like that created a lot of character.
Oh, yeah.
Everything I was going physically, mentally. And I was trying to adjust with, this is going to be a journey.
I saw from the video you posted how supportive your husband is. What did this season teach you about love, support, and your relationship?
I don't think I could have gotten through it if I didn't have a supportive husband. Aww. Because when I was doubting myself, he gave me reassurance. Yeah. When I was feeling lonely, he was in the room. Yeah. He would give me that hug that I needed so bad. Aww. Like, he would keep me busy, and he would give me, the encouragement. Like, I felt like even though I was the one going through it physically, yes, we were both in it emotionally. And
that's so important.
One thing I will say that I love so much about my husband is that he never put pressure on it. He never said, if we don't have kids, this ain't gonna work out, right? He would say, baby, we're gonna try as long as you're comfortable trying. Okay. If you tell me I'm done, I want to stop, we're done and we're going to stop. And it'll just be you and I for the rest of our lives and we'll live a good life. And that will be okay too.
Oh my
You know
God,
what I mean?
please.
So like,
so you got the fairy tale husband as well. I love this for you.
You know, but like he never was like, oh, it needs to be, you need to give me a kid.
Yeah, because that's a lot of pressure.
There's husbands that do that.
Of course. They're like, this isn't going to work. Like, this isn't how I saw my life. And I don't know what to tell you, you know? So, oh my God, such a blessing. And again, bringing it back to God, he wanted to see where your heart posture was, where both of you guys were mentally, and the fact that you were like, you know what, regardless, we got each other. Look it, now you're pregnant. Oh, I love that so much.
And I will say too, like it was an opportunity because see, when my husband and I got together, we got engaged after 5 months, right? So we were together, we got engaged after 5 months. Then I moved to LA once we put a deposit on our wedding venue, and then we got married a year later.
Okay.
Once we got married, we were ready for kids, but we had really only been together for like a year and a half, right? So I think like God knew there needed to be a pause. And while we were going through the journey of parenthood, him and I got to know each other in every level, right? Yeah. Because IVF gives you stress, it gives you uncertainty, it gives you, you're moody, you're not all the way yourself. So it's like, my husband has seen me not be my best self. And he has loved me through that part of my life and vice versa. So God knew timing while we were going through this, like we were getting to know each other as husband and wife. And I feel like he didn't make a mistake on that because there was a lot of growth that needed to happen from both of us. Because even though we were good people, we had never been these people to each other. And I think we, you know, love languages matter and like, what do you like and what do I like? And 100%. When you have a baby and now there's something in between you guys that's the most beautiful blessing in the whole world, like you need to be able to be locked in to understand that when you're all having a bad day about like parenting skills or you're feeling a little like postpartum and you're deflated, you're not going to take it so personal because there's comfortability there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think me and my husband have reached that stage while we were on the journey of waiting and being patient. We were getting to know each other.
Yeah, and you got to spend that time together because once the baby gets here, like, I mean, of course you guys will have time for yourself still, but your whole life is going to change. It's all about the baby now.
For sure.
So you got to, like you said, got to know each other a little bit more and just spend that time that it's not going to be that anymore. It's going to be a third person now, you know?
We locked in differently because it felt like he had it, like his heart would go out to me. Yeah. Because he'd be like, man, you know, she's trying.
I know.
And I was trying and falling straight in on my faces.
It was him with the shirt on. I watched your whole video. I was like literally in tears. It was him with the shirt on with you on it. I'm like, I just cannot. That is so sweet. He was like,
it's moments like that you feel like they give you life.
Yeah.
You give you a little extra reason for the fight, you know? My husband works his ass off and there's a lot of time apart because of that.
Yeah.
But when it's time to show up, he shows up. Yeah.
That's most important. I love that for you. And I also on the platform want to talk to men too, because I can imagine that it's difficult on them too. Like you got really lucky to have such an amazing man that was able to help you through it. But some men shut down because they don't even understand what's happening. We don't even really know what's going on. You know what I mean? So never mind. Yeah.
There was times we didn't film it, but there was times where he didn't really know what to say. Like, he's like, because you know, you can only, for men, it's like, I don't know how else to encourage you or what else to say that's going to make it better. So they just stay quiet. And there was times where I'm like, no one understands me. And he's just like staying quiet and like, okay. And I can only imagine like you, as a man, you don't know how to be there, but he did the best he could. He
did. I love that for you. So what helped you stay hopeful on days that felt really hard for you?
Community, my girls, my neighbors.
Okay, so you told your friends what was going on. Okay, good.
I'm the type of person, I'll have a group of people that I talk to because I never want to lose my mind and not have that wellness check with my friends, right? So when I was feeling a little low, like, hey babe, hey girl, do you want to go to lunch? Do you want to go to the mall? Do you want to go to this? And believe it or not, like community, having your girl talks, like having women that are mothers, and even though they didn't get the IVF thing, they were there for me emotionally, gave me a lot of hugs and, you know, told me it was going to be okay. And just sometimes just getting it off, right? Just talking about it, letting it go. You know, I'm the type of person like my friends are my therapists.
Yeah.
I like talk to them about my stuff. They check me, hey babe, you're out of pocket, or hey babe, you know, it's gonna be okay. And it really just makes a total difference
It's
than
so
just
important.
bringing it in the whole time. So, and then I had what I call like a big sister. I had one friend in particular. She did IVF and she had success eventually.
Okay.
So she was the person I would kind of go to about my IVF.
Okay.
Because
She understood.
went through it. So you got to pick one person that could be your mentor. It could be your big sister. It could be someone that's already ahead of you that could guide you, because there's going to be a lot of questions. There's going to be a lot of concerns. And even though there's everyone's story is a little different, you can find comfort in knowing like, oh, that's okay, or like, hey, that's normal, or most people know someone that's done it. So it just becomes like this like ripple effect where like you get comfort from someone, because only so much your husband can do. There's only so much your doctor can do. So finding that person, I had my mentor, which I call big sister, and then having my sisterhood community that I can just to just be a woman with, you know, be girl, do girl stuff and talk girl stuff. It was really helpful.
Of course, because it could just be such a heavy load to deal with it on your own. You know, I was more so, I'm the type of person that I don't like people to feel bad for me or anything. And so I kind of like dealt with it on my own. I kind of just went through it alone, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And that was so heavy on me. That's why I'm like, this whole platform is so important to me because of these type of conversations. I wish I had them. And when my friends found out I did it, they were like, are you insane? You dealt with that on your own? What is wrong with you? I'm like, kind of like how you said you're like a big sister. I had something, one of my friends is like, she had gone through IVF and I had told her, I'm like, so one of my friends is about to go through IVF. Do you have any, you know, tips for her? So then when she found out that I went through all this, she's like, I had a feeling it was you, but like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna let her do what she needs to do. So I'm glad that you had that community though, because it means so much. It really does.
That's why these platforms matter so much, because I also would go to TikTok and look at other girls' videos, and I'm like, man, you know, like sometimes someone else talking about it inspires someone else.
So the last question is going to be, if there's a woman listening today who's having one of those days, maybe she got a failed transfer or she got bad news about her embryo quality, what is something you would say to her?
You know what I want to say? It's okay to be mad.
Yeah.
It's okay to be mad. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to question everything. You know, when I would go sometimes to like my friends and I'd be like, cause I'm mad and I'm this and that, like, oh no, Steph, like, don't be like that. Don't think like that. And what happens is you start feeling like I can't feel, like I'm not allowed to feel. And when you get deception, when you get like a failed something that you've worked so hard for, live in that emotion for however long. It could be a day, it could be a week. Then get your motivation. Then come out of it. But I feel like some people just want you to shake it off, like if it's just another day. And I feel like people don't understand, like, we're humans and we can feel upset at like why, and we can question everything, and we could cry and be depressed for a little bit and get those emotions out. Be comfortable with just letting them out, feeling them. They're real. Those feelings are real.
100.
And then pick yourself back up, shake it off, and keep going. But have your moments, sis. Do not be afraid of being mad or sad or questioning anything.
If you haven't been through it, it's easy to be like, okay, well, it'll happen for you. Don't worry about it. It's like, you can hear that. It sounds amazing. It sounds great. But when you're in the thick of it and you're like, hold on a second, is this ever going to happen for me for real? But like I said, when I would go onto those TikTok stories and I would see women go through transfers and failed transfers and they finally get their miracle baby, I'm like, okay, so there is hope that this can happen for me. And you sharing your story, I know that like there was tons of women that felt like that. I had a few people that messaged me about your story too, and I was like, oh my God. So I just want to thank you so much for sharing that with everyone. You're so strong for doing that. And I'm like so excited for you, and I'm so thankful that you're my first person I have on this interview. So I'm excited about that. We go way back, like Miami days.
Yes, girl, way back crazy. Miami days. And I have
how we circled back around and here we are now. Like what? 20, no, not 20 years later. I'm tripping. Like 15 years
15.
later?
I have a picture. I sent it to you? I have a picture with you
No
in
way.
2000 and like 14 or 13, girl,
Stop.
that long ago. We were in this, we had same social circle and friends, and we would host, and you were a model and so was I. We were IG models and we would host.
We were the first, we're the OGs. I don't care what anyone says. We started all this shit. And now look at us 15 years later, we're over here talking about IVF. Like that's how life works. Like that is just literally amazing. God, I swear. But
you know,
send me that
it's
picture.
crazy. It shows elevation.
Of course. Look at this. I mean, your
we
house,
used to be
you're
or where we're at.
married, you're about to have your baby, everything. Like, I'm just so happy. Just is showing growth. And I'm just like so thankful for it. I really am.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. And
of course.